So another man drops to his knees on a public street and presses his face on another man's boots. Not because he lost a bet, but because of slavery. That's the starting point today. Not a theory, not a debate club argument. An actual adult human being performing guilt for history he never lived. We're going to walk through exactly how that mindset shows up, what it produces, and what happens when people finally stop playing along. First, the mindset that makes the knee drop possible.
And I just do not know how to explain to a white person that says, well, it wasn't me who did slavery. It wasn't my hands that Gigi, I'm talking. Wasn't my hands that beat the man or that lynched the people. I don't know how to explain to you that it fucking was. And it is your people. And it is the people that looked like us. Correct. I know that it physically wasn't you in this 21st century and today's age, but society exists the way that it does because of the choices that our ancestors made. America would not be America if the dirty whites from the Mayflower got kicked out of their country and started a country here based off of hatred. Yeah, our people did that. Unfortunately, we came from those people that did that. I understand that you personally did not, but we did. I'm really sorry. I hate to break it to you that we suck. Isn't that horrible? Now, shouldn't you want to do everything you can to make sure that that never happens again and that we ensure that people are treated fairly and equally, regardless of what they fucking look like? It should make you angry what occurred because of people that looked like us. I don't understand how people aren't mad at our entire people group. I'm confused. We should be ashamed. Yeah, there have been some good things, but that bad has always outweighed the good, and it continues to repeat itself. I mean, Nolan Wells' case is a perfect example of how racism is alive and well and has never, ever fucking died, especially in places like Mississippi. People think like, oh, Ohio's not racist, da-da-da. The fuck it is. You know how many rebel flags I see more in Ohio than anywhere down south? History is always going to repeat itself because it's the white people that, like you, that say, well, it wasn't me that did that. Yeah, it fucking was, and you're still fucking doing it with your dumbass ignorance. It's very telling that you feel the need to defend your people for not doing slavery, like, instead of just being angry that it happened, that human beings are even capable of committing such horrendous acts that should piss you off and make you angry. You have no problem sympathizing with the Jews and the Holocaust and saying that that was a horrible thing that happened to them. But God forbid you look at America and how white people have treated people of color. God forbid you look at that and say that's horrible. I'm super confused here. You can look at the Holocaust and say that's bad, but you cannot look at American slavery and say, wow, that's horrible. You have to say, well, I didn't do that.
I mean, well, it is. I mean, I'm not a white man, but she says it plain. White people are so dumb. No nuance, no individual. Just a whole group of people reduced to her slogans, right? This is the same energy that turns history into a permanent debt someone else is supposed to keep paying. It doesn't ask what any specific person did. It just assigns the bill. And once you accept that logic, getting on your knees start to feel like the next reasonable step. So I want you to watch what logic looks like, when somebody actually lives it out.
It's the boots of the children of the slaves. There you go. Start with that boot right there, over there. Right there. You ain't done. Let me tell you something. Black people, hold on. So let me ask you a question. You said you sorry for what your ancestors have done? You said you different from your ancestors. You said that you are not like them.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let me see. We're going to see if you're going to finish the job. Anybody can do that part because that don't take no real work. Next part is if you're really sorry, what it say? Give me Isaiah 49 to 23. I'm going to tell you what God said.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth.
That's the first step. The bowing with your face toward the earth. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead.
And lick up the dust of thy feet.
Kiss the boots of the children of the slaves. There you go. Start with that boot right there, over there. Right there. You ain't done. Let me tell you something. Blacks and Hispanics, that's the gift of God. Hold on. There's more. That's them right there. You can just stay where you at. They gonna bring the boots to you. You can just stay right here. You're gonna get bombarded with boots. Go ahead. That's the blessing that God gave blacks and Hispanics.
That's right.
That one day your enemies is gonna bow before you. See, people think we out here for nothing, but there are some people that fear God. Right. That's the real act of humility. Judgment that's coming from the West. Right. You ain't done. Go ahead. You're not done. That's right there. You know what? White people get to see what it feels like to see one of their brothers kissing the boots of somebody else. Yeah. Let me tell you something. This is what it looks like. This is an apology. Yeah, this ain't nobody making him do nothing. He chose to do it because he's sorry.
A lot of people in the past have done stupid shit. They don't need to.
Hey, buddy, we got one more right here. There you go, right there. Stay focused. There you go.
Y'all see what that logic looks like? Yeah, it is. It's not a metaphor. A man on the concrete kissing boots while a group stands over him quoting scripture about people licking dust. This is what happens when you teach people that the highest moral act is public self-humiliation for sins they never committed. The people demanding the kiss don't have to improve anything. They just collect the performance. And a man on his knees thinks he's doing something righteous. I don't know, man. I don't think that's progress. It looks like theater. Now, listen to a black woman who refuses to play the same game.
So let me just say in a nutshell, there's a fundamental difference between a black conservative and a black liberal. First and foremost is black conservatives, we feel like it should be self-accountability, self-reliance. We don't look to other people to give us anything or to make up for injustices of the past. We don't make everything about race. We look at personal decisions that we each make in our lives that negatively impact us. The fact that someone chooses to do, sell drugs or do drugs, perform criminal behavior and act in these wild, outlandish ways, that's that person's decision making, not anybody else's. They chose to do it. So let me just say in a nutshell,
Now, she's not interested in a permanent blame cycle. She says the difference is simple. Some people look at the decisions they make, and some people look for somebody else to charge for how their life turned out. Pretty sure you can make out who those people are. Now, criminal behavior is a choice. Staying stuck, is a choice in many cases. That's just generally speaking. But waiting for the people who you to fix your situation is also a choice. She doesn't need a historical villain to explain her next move. That one difference changes everything. And she's not the only one walking away from the old script.
America, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I take full responsibility. I am partly responsible for what's happening in America, for what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, for what's happening in New York City. We left Iran. We left Islamic Republic for exactly this reason, because radical terrorists, Muslims took over the country and are literally killing, raping, torturing, and executing innocent people right now as we speak for the past 47 years. And I thought by voting Democrat, liberals, every single year, every single time there was an election, that meant we are going to make America, keep America great. We're going to definitely not negotiate with terrorism. That's exactly what the left media made me believe. And I'm here to say I apologize. I was brainwashed this whole time. It took me over 20 years to realize that Democrats and liberals are the reason this country is the way it is. They're the ones that are okay with the American flag being burned in New York City, that the American flag is okay to be burned. It's part of democracy. It's the most anti-American thing to do. And wishing death upon America is the most anti-American thing you can do. It has nothing to do with democracy. And I'm here to apologize and let my husband know that he was right. He was rara. Gotta let my husband know that he was rara. I don't know why it's so hard to say this. I am here to announce that my husband was rara. It's very painful. I'm here to announce that my husband was right. Oh, that took everything I had. That he was right about everything that Republicans are the ones that are going to help make America great again. I also believed that make America great again meant make America white again. That's because the left media wanted me to believe that. I am here to announce I'm sorry, and I will be part of the group that will make America great again. And I will proudly vote Republican from now on. God bless. And again, I apologize for everything I've done.
There's a lot going on here, but one thing I found interesting is that she said the left and the left-wing media wanted her to believe that MAGA was like make America white again. It had to do with racism. This is what the left does. They emotionally manipulate people and they hijack a part of their brain because they're like, oh, everything you do is about racism and oppressing people of color, that they no longer evaluate things based off of facts, merit, and logic. It's all based from an emotional lens that they're evil and racist, so you have to oppose everything they do. Which is why you see so many people have TDS the way they do, because the way the left operates, they hijack people's emotions and it blocks their ability to critical think for long periods of time. It's really an astounding thing. I'm glad she woke up because it makes zero sense, in my opinion, if you're from Iran to be voting for Democrats, along with especially if you're Jewish to be voting for Democrats. It does not make sense to me. Maybe I'm crazy. But I'm glad this woman is waking up to the reality of the Democratic Party. I've said it before. The Democratic Party are now useful idiots for people who want to destroy our nation. The people who want to harm America, they infiltrate through the Democrats because Democrats are easy to manipulate and they're useful idiots. That's all I've got for now. Don't forget I have a free email newsletter. Click the link in my bio. Click my email newsletter. Drop your email in and you'll be good.
Please do that ASAP. Now, she left the country. She left the country run by radicals who, would kill and torture. She spent decades voting the way she was told would keep America safe from that exact thing. Then she watched the same side defend burning the American flag and treating anti-American rage like free speech. She's not mad at a cartoon version of the other side. She's mad that she was sold a lie about which side actually protects the country she fled to. That kind of honesty, it costs something. Most people never get there. I'm just saying. Now the part that people pushing the guilt never want to talk about.
I don't happen to be running, but a lot of very good Republicans are running. And you have a sick ideology taking place right now that, hopefully they'll be defeated because they'll destroy the country if they ever take over. But this desk is like a blocking desk. No matter who gets in. If it's bad, I block. And I'm good at blocking. If it's bad, if it's stupid things like the things they want to do, we want to get rid of the U.S. Senate. I don't like a lot of Senate, just to be honest with you. I don't want to get rid of the Senate. We want to get rid of the Supreme Court. They want to put now 21 or 23 people, that's the real, on the Supreme Court, or get rid of it. They want to get rid of the presidency. They want to have an appointed executive running. That's a communist thing, That's a communist thing. These are sick people. And, I said it the other day, and it maybe doesn't sound that important, but when a country goes bad, like look at the blue cities, what do they have in common, aside from massive crime? Much more crime. The Republicans have very little crime. But what do the blue cities have in mind? And also you can say this with nations when they go bad. The blue cities have something in common. Crime, high crime, vicious, violent crime. But what do they have in common? They're all dirty. They're filthy dirty. Their streets are dirty. Their streets smell. Their storefronts are broken. Their trees are all gross. Everything about the place is dirty. And I don't want to mention any specific city. It's really all of them. But you go into these cities that are blue, they're crime-ridden, and they're filthy dirty. They're like Washington, D.C. was a year and a half ago, with graffiti all over the place, with crime all over the place, with people afraid to be here. You had to be ashamed of your capital. Some of the most beautiful buildings built in the real time. Like you look at the Supreme Court building, and they put graffiti on it. The most beautiful columns I've ever seen. In fact, our columns are going to be nicer at the ballroom. I said, I want the Supreme Court, but better. But you look at those columns, how magnificent, and then you see graffiti on the side of the building. No artistry, just bad people. But the one thing they all have in common, crime, the two things, crime, but they're disgusting. They're filthy dirty. The streets are dirty. They have people lying all over the street doing you know what. They're all the same. And this is what we're going to put in it. Not going to happen in our country.
So he points at the cities and refuses to pretend. High crime, filthy streets, graffiti on beautiful buildings, people lying on the sidewalk, and the same ideology that produces the boo kissing is the one running those places. They talk about justice and, equity nonstop, then deliver dirt and disorder. If the ideology worked, the cities under its control would look different, but they don't. It's not a talking point, man. It's just literally the scoreboard. Now, the last one, pure chaos. I'm not going to lie. Just pure chaos energy. No deep meaning. Just the internet being the internet.
Good morning, black people. You stay safe out there. And let me tell you something, black people. You better not apologize to one funky ass Caucasian. You allowed to hate people that hate you. I do. I hate them motherfuckers. They hate me. Ain't never had a conversation with me. Don't know nothing about me, but they hate me. You got a right to hate them motherfuckers back. And if you can, and if you can get off a couple of rounds on them and go ahead and take them out, you gonna make that happen. I ain't gonna tell on you. I'm gonna try to protect you.
Honestly, I don't have any profound take on this man right here, man. Sometimes the timeline just hands you a shirtless guy with a nose ring. I guess I got a nose ring too. I shouldn't be hating, but with a nose ring. And he's sitting there screaming good morning like he just discovered oxygen. We include him for balance. The algorithm needs variety. So do we. What you just watched is not complicated. One side keeps selling collective guilt as a moral currency, and the other side keeps pointing at personal decisions and asking why cities under the guilt ideology look the way that they do. A man on his knees kissing boots is not strength. Not to me. What about you? It's not strength to me. A woman who stops blaming and starts owning her choices is. An immigrant who admits she was sold, rather, a story and walks away from it is. And a leader who refuses to pretend the dirt and the crime are someone else's fault is simply describing what is already visible. You can keep performing the guilt, or you can decide the only debt you actually owe is the one you create with your own decisions. The choice is still available. Most people just never take it. So, I want you to drop the word knees in the comments if you made it all the way through here. Now, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each one may receive what is due for what he has done in the body, whether good or evil. This is 2 Corinthians 5:10. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.